Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says the army has been ordered to move on the capital of the northern Tigray region in what he's calling the final phase of the offensive. Some 500,000 residents of the capital, Mekelle, have been warned to stay indoors. The move comes just hours after an ultimatum expired for regional leaders to surrender to the central government. The UN is warning it's running low on essential supplies for the nearly 1 million people who've been displaced by the conflict. Our correspondent Mariel Muller reports.
We are only 80 kilometers away from the Ethiopian border into the region of Tigray, where heavy fighting still continues. This UN camp, called Raquba Camp, once housed refugees who fled Ethiopia's famine in the 1980s. Now the camp is expected to house several thousand refugees, as the UN Refugee Agency told us. Many more than the original capacity of 6,000. People here are desperate, they tell us. Water, food and shelter are scarce. Some of them have to sleep on the ground, are struggling to get enough food or medical aid. The new refugees crossing the border to Sudan worry aid groups. A representative told us we are unable to respond to a growing influx.
Raquba Camp once housed refugees who fled Ethiopia's famine in the 1980s. Now some 9,000 people have saved themselves once again, but this time it's because of war. In this hospital, people wait for hours before receiving treatment. Like Agare. She, her baby and her father escaped the war in the Tigrayan town of Humera. I was afraid because the bombs kept falling for 3 days. We just left without money, without clothes. It took 10 days to come here. And now we're here in Sudan. We've been in this camp for 3 days. We don't have any shelter. Her father has terminal cancer. Since they got out, he hasn't received his medication. The UN Refugee Agency is bracing for more refugees crossing the border from Ethiopia.
People need everything from water, food and shelter. So at the moment we are catering for over 9,000 people a day hot meal through our partner. And that's not enough.
And it's children who are suffering the most. It's estimated that half of the refugees are children. Many of them need medical treatment, like 5-month-old Kal Ab. He's been coughing and has had diarrhea since days. I can't breastfeed him, and here they don't have milk powder and the food the baby needs. Outside the hospital, we meet Alem, whose house was bombed in Humera, the site of reportedly some of the heaviest fighting between Ethiopian forces and the Tigrayan army. He got shot in the leg. I'm alone. My mom and my dad were killed by the bombing. These clothes are my only ones. I wear them for days. Nobody helps me. I don't have enough water or food here. Nobody takes care of me. If more refugees arrive, Alem fears that the situation could get even worse.